Good morning, everyone. I realized that some of you guys didn't have the benefit of having me here the other day when we were working on the email signature project. And some of you guys did have the luxury of having me here, but you might need some clarification. So I decided I would make a video to show you what you need to do for this project. And so I'm going to start off by getting this set up. So what we need to do is go into Classwork. If you go into Classwork and go down to Projects, click on Email Signature Project, you're going to see the first thing on here, which is a project description. And this is something I do for all projects. It will include some sort of brief to tell you kind of what we're doing, and then a set of directions, and then it'll tell you how this is graded. This is a project grade, so it's very important that you complete this, at least attempt it, because if you don't, it could really have an impact on your final grade in this class. But what we're doing is actually creating an email signature for a staff member in the school. Each one of you will create at least one email signature, and that's a graphic that appears at the bottom of the email. Ours is used to spread our branding. So we're doing this so that we can show off the school's new logo and make it recognizable so that it reaches out to the community or anybody else who receives an email from one of our staff members. And we're also using a uniform template, meaning everybody's is going to look the same, the only difference is the text in it. So all you're really doing for this project is editing text, using the text tool in Photoshop. And so the first thing we need to do is download the official fonts that we're using for this. And to do that, you go back into Classwork. In the classroom, you'll see Teuton Fett OTF and Teuton Fett Italic OTF. This is one of our official branded fonts for our school. The other one's called Nissan, but we're using Teuton Fett for what we're editing today. So if you right-click on these files, open link in new tab, and then do the same for the other one, Teuton Fett Italic, and have these both lined up here. You need to download both, and then you can close out those two windows once they're downloaded. You'll see them down here. And then just click on each one and make sure you click install. And for me, it's going to ask if I want to replace it. It means I've already installed it. I went ahead and replaced it just so I can show you what to click. But I need to do the same thing with Teuton Fett Italic. So everything I'm going over is typed in this area, but I'm going to go ahead and switch gears here to show you guys where you're going to find out which staff member is the one you've been assigned. So if you right-click where it says Assignment of Staff and go open link in new tab, you will see this. And so what I need to do is figure out, I'll pick one of you guys and I will pretend like I'm you. This should actually be very exceptionalities. That's the highlighted ones are longer names for the positions, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and just scroll down, pick something down here. I'll pick Brennan Cruz's assignment. So we have Fernando Sanchez Rodriguez. And that's a teacher, and that's the email address. So we have first name, last name, position, and email address is what we're editing. So now what I need to do is I need to get the template. So I know it's not highlighted. I know it's just a teacher, so I don't need the long position. It is a long last name, though, so I might have to make some changes. But I'll show you that when we get in there. So if I go back up to Classwork and choose signature short position. Now, if you have yours highlighted, you're going to choose long position. Templates are the same for the most part, except there's a longer space to put your position title in. So I'm going to right-click signature short position and go open link in new tab. It might take a second to open up in Photoshop, but once it opens, we'll be able to take a look at what we need to edit here. So while we're waiting on that, I will go over grading for this. One thing I will tell you is you will not fail for attempting. If you try, you will not fail. So an 80 is the lowest grade you'll get if you try. There's some misspellings or you need to reposition text or anything like that, you'll get an 80 on this. Not doing it is what's going to get you an F. So just if you follow all directions, you should have no problem getting at least an 80, 90, or a 100. There's the rubric there. Sorry for the feedback here. I know it's not hard, but that's how it's graded. Let's see if this is open. There we go. Maybe this is going to be a little bit better for sound. Here we go. And as I've mentioned before, when doing assignments or projects, sometimes it's helpful to dock to the left, but I'm just going to go ahead and go full screen for the benefit of you all being able to see really well. And again, you can Control plus and Control minus to zoom in and out. What you'll see in the template are a bunch of text layers. You'll see T for text, and literally, whoops, sorry guys. Okay, there we go. What you'll see if you go down along the layers here, you'll see T in there, and you can literally click in there. Sorry, we go back to it. Click in the T for whatever it is you're editing. Double click it, and it will highlight it for you. And notice everything that says first name last is capitalized, so we want to keep it with that style because it's a uniform style. Well, my person's name was, wait for it, Fernando Sanchez Rodriguez. I'm going to go ahead and go back in here and start to type it in. Like I said before, Fernando Sanchez. This is going to be a long one. Hold up. Sanchez Rodriguez. So I think it's a hyphenated name. Sanchez Rodriguez. And as I mentioned, it's taking up more space than I have here. So what I might do is use my resize tool or free transform, edit free transform, or you can press Control T on your keyboard to get to it, and try to shrink this up a little bit. And we want to kind of position it in a similar way as the other thing. I'm going to make it a little bit taller. And one thing I'm going to actually do is make the gator smaller so that I can stretch this stuff out a little bit. So maybe if I do it like that, and then I can move my position over here a little bit more so that it matches the bottom of that. And I know the email address is probably going to be a little bit smaller or longer with a longer name like that. All right, so this is a teacher. So I need to type in teacher. We have it in sentence case, so uppercase first letter and then all the rest lowercase. And then we need the email address. So let me look that up real quick. Fernando S.A. So if I type in, we go to the email over here, and then double click the T. And I can just go into here. Fernando S, capital S, lowercase a. Do it exactly as it appears in there. And once you do that, you can kind of reposition using that move tool. And that's that. You literally need to go save it now. File, save as, put it into your documents, and then type in where it says short or long position. Type in what the person's name is. So mine is Fernando Sanchez. I'm making sure it's in my documents. I'm not going to do the full spelling there, but if I wanted to, I could. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then, wait, got to do one other thing. So we saved a copy in Photoshop format, but we need to save it in JPEG because that's how it's going to be sent to our staff members. So if you go down here to the Save As type and change it to JPEG, and then go ahead and save it again, that's the one you're going to turn in as the JPEG. It's good to have a backup, have your Photoshop file as a backup. I've had a few people who, I instructed everybody to save as JPEGs, but if you didn't save in PSD and you had to fix something, then you'd have to redo the whole thing. Not that this is a hard project to do that with, but it would be easier for you to just have a Photoshop file saved, so all you'd have to edit is the one thing. But that's the project. So I hope that this was helpful, and if you have questions, as always, that's what I'm here for. I will help you out and get you situated. All right, have a good rest of your day.